Good evening and welcome to the Riverside for the 1912 Exiles Live! Oh, bless you all for stroking our egos. Jack, you can kick us off.
Hello, I'm Jack. Welcome to the 1912 Exiles podcast, live and in living colour at the Riverside Sports Bar, who proudly sponsor us. I haven't tried their burgers yet. I hear they're really good. Let's just start it off then, shall we? Just get that game off our chest. Ed, what did you make of it, mate?
Well, I got here and while I was setting up, friend of the pod, Stu, talked me down from the ledge because I was saying that I was very worried after that, and you said Gillingham, good team. You think even if we'd scored the penalty, we'd have been lucky to get a draw. They just had too much quality.
Yeah, I think so. I think if we'd have gone 2-0 up, I would have expected a draw maybe. I think we're still a bit spineless, aren't we? And they had such a strong bench and such a strong team. I think they would have ground us down eventually. But I think it was a positive performance. Just at the end of the day, they were just better than us.
I think that was our best 11 of the season, maybe. I went to the Barnet game. It feels like that's the only game we've had where we've clung to something and had a result. But yeah, it's just a bit of a kick in the teeth when it feels like we've got a system that might work and yet we still lose 3-1.
Did you like the starting 11 that we came out with, though?
I think so, yeah. I still kind of debate. I still wonder about Glennon, but he's just so useless in defence that I wouldn't pick him. I just think our bench looked so bad that we had a starting 11 and we didn't have anyone to lean on.
That definitely felt like the difference today, when they could bring on Sam Vokes and Seb Palmer-Holden, and we were looking going, Michael Spellman, anyone? It's sort of quite hard to compete, but yeah. It's all going to come down to October, I suppose. We'll come on to that in a moment, but in terms of today, the penalty miss felt like a sliding doors moment. Yeah. Hands up anyone who thought Cameron Antwi was going to be the man to take the penalty? No hands going up. Who would you, Diesel Con, you're normally a man with opinions, who would you like to have seen take it?
Anybody who doesn't do a ridiculous stuttered run-up. Yeah. I'd rather see Kai Whitmore step up and just smash it on target. And if the keeper saves it, hats off to him. But if you're going to do silly run-ups and then the keeper saved it, everyone just gets frustrated, don't they? And you don't really want that.
Yeah, I mean,
the rebound as well.
You're looking at your strikers and thinking, right, you got Reindorf and Apoku both there. Why are they not? Yeah, and Apoku's already scored. Why are they not grabbing the ball? Is that what you expected?
Well, I think Apoku's only been here a couple of weeks. Maybe we'll go, I want to take penalties. Reindorf I wouldn't put on penalties because his end product is non-existent currently.
Yeah, I mean, I can't trust every chance that he had. It's almost like you can't trust Reindorf with that chance. That penalty decision, this one's odd. So the first half, let's think. Gillingham top of the table, biggest budget in the league, I think. And for the first 20 minutes, we were better. But if we're making decisions like letting Antwi do that penalty, surely there's a Apoku or a striker who feels a bit more emboldened to take a penalty in that moment and get us 2-0, which is like a massive difference, isn't it? It's just, surely there's someone better to take a penalty than Antwi, and that run-up was horrendous, and the rebound just, oh my goodness me. But first 30 minutes, I said it to my brother at half-time, it's the happiest I've been all season to watch us. For entertainment value and getting into it and enjoying it, yeah, it was good, but the second half just got a really subdued, it was almost like processional football.
Anyone else on today's game want to chip in with thoughts? Yeah, go on.
Well, I still feel good. I think whenever we play the system we played today, it certainly looks way more positive than when we played a horrible, narrow 5 at the back. And, well, like me and Jack said, after 20 minutes, you can't argue with what we saw. It was good football.
We got some Gillingham fans, I think.
Gillingham fans, come in.
We've all been praising you and saying you look like a side who's going to go up and you play very well and the quality of your bench. Yeah. But be nice and honest now. What did you make of the team you were playing this afternoon?
I thought in the first 20 minutes, I thought Newport played quite well, to be honest. I think, and when you got your goal, I mean, I thought actually we're going to be in for a difficult time here. But yeah, I think Gillingham stepped up to it then after, if you want my opinion, and Newport didn't really offer that much afterwards. I mean, crikey, who are we to talk? We've been rubbish for ages now. We're lucky we're in a position where we are, but I mean, I remember coming down here a couple of seasons ago and you beat us. And
we've been your bogey team for ages, haven't we?
It's always been the same. It's always been the same. And but I thought you was okay today, but you didn't have that. In that last quarter, you didn't seem to have anything, to be honest.
Yeah, we said that.
I think that's the thing.
Yeah, that last 20 minutes was just, well, you said it, Jack, a procession.
It wasn't like you couldn't sit there and go, oh yeah, Gillingham were absolutely awesome, because we wasn't. We just done what we needed to do, and we finished when we needed to. But Newport had their chances, and they didn't really finish all the time.
I'm very, very jealous of Bradley Dack. What an operator, as a captain. He seems to have this sort of free role to just pick up the pressure wherever he feels like it is. It's amazing.
Yeah, but it's not always been like that. And now Bradley Dack is getting this sort of role now in the squad, and now he's right now because our normal captain's out. Yeah. So he's got this captain's role, and he's really stepping up to it. And yeah, he's brilliant. I mean, he's a Gillingham guy through and through from our youth team. So it's nice to have someone like that in the team, I'll be honest with you.
Any relation to James Dack, who used to be our assistant manager, do you know?
I don't know.
Potentially.
But it's really good from your guys to see the Welsh lad step up. Johnny Williams was awesome today. Absolutely awesome. And when I wanted Sambos to come on earlier, because I thought he would have done well as well. And when he did come on, he did all right, but he didn't have much time.
Just a quick question before I leave you to have a pint and peace. Do we look like, after 10 games, if you've watched Gillingham play often, do we look like relegation candidates?
I wouldn't say so. No. Personally, I wouldn't say so. I think I've seen some worse teams out there. But yeah, I thought Newport put some nice stuff together. I think your manager, he comes from Old Trafford, doesn't he? So he's I think if he can bring some good players through and he can do it in the right way, I wouldn't say that you look like relegation candidates, but who knows? Again, just don't know, dear.
Right, let's bring in a few more home fans now, because we've got people here who I've not spoken to yet. What did you make of it today?
I thought it was the same story, that once our heads went down, they went down, and we never looked like coming back. We definitely need somebody with experience that's going to lead from the front on the field.
Do you think, I mean, we were saying a couple of us before the match, part of the problem is that we've got is you've got players like Shepherd and Smith who aren't even making the squad because of injuries, recurring problems, and we are unfortunately just that way at the moment with the budget, that we're either bringing in inexperienced players who are fit and available, or experienced players who are crocked or problematic. I mean, is that just the curse of county at the moment?
I think if you look back over a number of seasons, we always seem to sign a couple of crocks who never ever play for us. I mean, the classic example, I'm Diesel's dad. And a few
Diesel Senior.
A few years ago, he was really looking forward to one of the players we signed. Yeah. And he never ever played a game for us. Courtney Senior.
Oh yeah.
Oh God, yeah.
He got injured pre-season and he never ever came back. And I think that's the story of county. We just seem to have this knack of signing players that are injury prone, and we just don't see the best of them.
I was saying to someone beforehand, when will we see Smith and Shepherd play not just 90 minutes on a Saturday, but 90 minutes on a Tuesday as well? It's hard to see that happening, well, anytime soon for sure. Let's kind of keep moving along. What do you make of it today?
So I thought the first 10 minutes is some of the best we played this season, and then the penalty miss was such a turning point. I think someone's already mentioned that. With their heads just went down, and once they got back into it, we just did not look like scoring a goal at all. I was telling Jack here at half time, all they need to do now is batten down the hatches. They're 3-1 up, they don't need to do anything, and they did exactly that. In that first half, we had 70% possession. We had more shots on target, and we couldn't get the goals, and they took every chance they had.
So we saw the momentum graph half time, and it was all amber except for 2 small dashes.
Yeah.
And those are those 2 goals, and it was a bit like felt a bit cheated out of a 3-1 loss at half time. It just felt
exactly,
wrong.
yeah. And when hearing the crowd reaction around us, it was like they don't deserve really to have those goals, and I agree. But at the end of the day, you need to take the chances you can get, and they took them. We didn't. Last season, I thought we rode our luck with Jardim a lot. We got very lucky in so many games. Like at Morecambe game, I can remember last season. We managed to win very late on in the game. I feel like our luck has run out a lot this season. I really hope we can bring this around, but it's so easy to just go in that negative spiral of we don't know.
Well, we are 22nd, so
we're 22nd.
I forgive you for going down a spiral.
Right, yeah.
It's fine. It's fine.
We're not the relegation.
We are where we are.
There are teams below us, but it's not even late September and we're already looking down. It's just I want something to be positive about this season, and I really hope the squad can really turn it around. The window's closed, so we've got what we're stuck with. It would be good to see Liam Shepherd back, but we've had the last 2 games at home, we've conceded 6 goals and scored 3. And the past 2 seasons, Rodney Parade has been a bit of a bastion for us. And if we're losing that, if you look at our away record last season, well, we're not going to be. If we're not winning at home, we're not winning away. It's not really.
That for me
where
is the worry, that the lack of joy at home.
Yeah.
I think really going to start to bite quite soon. That we are relying on people remembering the last home victory, and that's going back a long old time now.
Yeah, you're right.
One thing I was saying at half time to people around me is that October spell we've got with all those big 3 league games, it feels to me like there's a lot that could potentially ride bizarrely on a Spotifan Trophy game down the road in Cardiff, because if we go into that with potentially actually quite a big away following, we might take a couple of thousand there.
Yeah.
If they put out a weak side, we put out a strong side, somehow like S House our way to an away win in front of quite a vocal support just before those 3 big games in the league, it might weirdly be the thing that kind of kickstarts the season. But I'm saying that more in hope than expectation at this point.
Yeah, you're right.
Who's going to that game in Cardiff in a couple of weeks?
I've got a few tickets to that, yeah.
A lot of people picking up tickets today.
Big week now because Wales are away at England as well, so I don't know when that's going to go.
Is that the week after the Swindon game as well?
It is, yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
That's a big couple of days.
Yeah, big couple of days. So let's get into that October spell then. How are we feeling about it? One of the questions that we asked in the poll that we put up this week was how many points are we going to get from the games against Accrington, Cheltenham and Harrogate? Who wants to kick us off? Go on, Jack. You're the man with the microphone closest to you. What do you say?
I voted positively. I think I was like 6 points plus. I think I'm more confident probably after today, actually. I still think we were good at Fells. But I think Accrington, Cheltenham, I think we've maybe got Shrewsbury at some point, all of the bottom 5. I think if we get nothing from those games, Hugh Jenkins probably has to throw the kitchen sink at the squad, because you just can't really survive then otherwise unless you invest.
I've cheated a bit and I've gone on Grok, the AI, and I've said, right, of the 10 teams that we've played already, what are the budgets like in terms of everyone else? And they are the top half of the team, of the table, and I just think that we've been up against, it's like the Gillingham fan said just then, don't look like relegation candidates, and that's against, let's be honest, one of the best budgets, and one of the best teams in the league, who could bring on Sam Vokes from the bench. My massive worry is, we put this call out to get these loan players in, and Opoku has come in and done a job, and it's been amazing. Braybrook looks like he should have been there from the start of the season. They've made massive impacts. Braybrook's gone in January. So almost beyond October, I'm worried about what the squad looks like after the fact, and if we can replace quality with quality, because if Braybrook's going back... Disagree?
No, I thought Braybrook was brilliant, in fairness.
We're lucky to have him,
I think we need to get the hashtag the Leicester Iniesta going, because he's very good.
He's always showing for the ball, isn't he? I mean, I get frustrated by players like Lloyd who sort of disappear for spells in games, but he's always there, Braybrook, covering the ground. He's back in the defence, he's getting forward, and he was always getting in space and demanding the ball, which, we've lacked that a bit.
And then when he's got it, you can see he's always looking. His head's on a swivel, and he's looking where he's going to go. And he's one of those players he can turn out the trouble. He looks like he's got loads of time.
Yeah, definitely.
I must also say, and I know this is a cheap, excuse, but every home game, I've been to every home game, and the refereeing display has been awful. Every single. I don't know if anyone agrees, Ed. I don't know if you agree.
I thought the ref was all right today. I thought he tried to let things flow, but I'm maybe being too kind.
I don't know what he's seeing, but Johnny Williams came out of the second half, and the first half he got booked, right? And he's had 2 intentional shirt pulls. The first one should have been the second yellow. The second one wasn't the second yellow, and you wonder when it's going to come. And we watched the penalty back in the stadium, and he doesn't even touch him. It's a blatant. He's gone over.
That tackle that we gave the penalty away, he got the ball, and then Spellman gets bundled over in the box, and we don't get a penalty. The game has changed because of the refereeing.
Yeah, the refereeing all season has been awful, especially at home. Really, really bad.
It's a consistent one, yeah. Right, Ed, I'm going to pivot away from being angry towards the refs.
Yeah, I want to bring in. I'm going to slightly move over this way because I want to bring in Stu, and I might bring in Mark as well. Stu, we were talking just before we hit record about what October's going to bring, and of course we have a game against Cheltenham and a certain Mr. Mike Flynn who may or may not still be in a job by that point. You were saying you were worried about that because Flynn always seems to get the result against us, even if we finish higher in the table. He always finds a way to win, and that could be costly. So what do you reckon?
Yeah, we've never beat him, have we, since he's come back to manage against us. I think we've had 1 draw maybe, and the rest have been defeats. And we've always finished above him in the league, apart from once, I think, at Swindon. So we always kind of win the battle, but we win the war but lose the battle.
Yeah. And friend of the pod, Mark, let me bring you in as well. Those 3 games in October, Cheltenham, Harrogate, Accrington, what do you think realistically we can get out of that?
My biggest concern is that we've not got quite the experience to deal with those completely relegation sort of games where there's 2 sides scrapping at the football that's being played as opposed to patterns of play, this, that and the other. And that's just based on today having played what some people might say our better half of football, but still conceded 3 goals. It's quite concerning at the moment.
Yeah, it's hard to see us keeping a clean sheet anytime soon.
Yeah, no, I was going to say this is probably my best defensive, best bunch of defensive players we've had for a while, and we're still shipping 6 goals in 2 games. It's like, well, what can you really do about that?
Shipping 3 goals today, I know we shipped a lot of goals for County. I think that's quite harsh, just on the feeling of how I felt at half-time being 3-1 down. I said to you a few times, it's the best I felt watching Newport for a very, very long time, but we shipped 3 goals. I mean, you're going to disagree with that a bit, are you?
100%. I think, look, I completely get what you're saying. I think the football was a lot better. I think there was a competitive outlet there, whereas previously we conceded 3 goals in the first half or second half, and there's not been competitive football there. The biggest issue is that, and a lot of people will say this is a cliche, but points keep you in the league. Yeah. And I would be concerned about a performance if we were looking at the top end of the league, where we wanted consistent performances to get those points that are going to get us into a playoff or a top 3. But unfortunately, for no stars bleeding, we're not thinking about that right now. Unfortunately, the big case is that we're looking at a situation where we could potentially, and wholeheartedly, we can potentially be a National League team next season. So what do we do to get enough points to stay up? And does that matter about performances rather than putting balls in the goal net?
Well, that kind of brings me on to something that I thought I might just get a quick fire set of answers on, which is how people feel about the manager. Because I think if we'd had this run of results under Nelson Jardim, there would be like open revolt amongst the fans. But it seems to me no one is yet, and you can tell me if I'm wrong, no one is yet like questioning Dave Hughes and saying, a change is the thing that will shift it. So I'm just going to do a quick, we'll pass the mic round, just like a sentence or two on how you feel about Dave Hughes. Now, Fraser, as the natural pessimist of the pod, I'll start with you.
Well, I just think that it's maybe a month or so, because I think especially with Robury, I think maybe we sort of let him go before we sort of should have, but I know a month or so, if we haven't picked up, then I think he's got to go, because I think it feels like every season's the rebuild. It's sort of getting a bit boring now, but yeah.
I think Hughes is a decent manager from what I've seen so far. I think we're well organised. I think I like the team shape. I just think it's the quality of the players that's letting us down at the moment. You can see him on the touchline. He clearly gives them good orders of what to do, and then he's tearing his hair out because they're making stupid decisions, stupid mistakes. So I'm not sure if we brought in Guardiola or Jurgen Klopp, whether we'd suddenly start winning games. I think a lot of it's down to the recruitment. I think we've been let down with that. We all said it in the summer. We thought Jenkins should have probably pushed the ball out a little bit more and maybe brought in just 2 or 3 players of quality, and he went on the cheap as he did last summer. And I think that might bite us in the backside.
I think Hughes is a fantastic coach, and I think he will be a fantastic manager, though my concern is a lack of accountability and responsibility will reflect in the team. And if potentially people, not saying anyone here, unless they do, thinks Jenkins doesn't take responsibility, then it absolutely has to go on the man that decided to take the job, for better or worse.
I think he knows what he's doing. I don't think the squad is necessarily good enough at the moment, or really drilled well enough to be able to take his orders. However, you can't keep losing every game and really expect to lose your job. And you're right, if this was Jardim, he would have a lot more flack than I feel like David Hughes is getting. If I'm being pragmatic, I would still give him until end of October, see how these run of games goes, even into November. If we're still not winning, then something probably needs to change.
We were talking at halftime about the podcast with James Watts about how many games you can afford to lose before you lose the fans. I think there's an element of maybe we'll have a quiet kind of exodus of fans now who...
Well, there were 4,000 there today, and 1,000 of those must have been in the away end, so I mean that kind of speaks volumes.
So I think maybe now we see just fans not attending. It's not that we're in protest about it, but I think the club needs to worry about financially what's the price of the results. But I can't see how you can replace a manager who is seemingly doing everything right until we go on the pitch and then don't get the results. But I think the October games and Shrewsbury, I think you have to do something. You have to get someone like Coughlin in at some point, because if you want to stay up, you have to do something. So,
I was critical of Dave Hughes for spending so much time playing 2 up front with Bobby Calmer in a position where he just cannot play. Impressed that he's managed to change and he's been flexible enough. What I will say about sacking managers is we're fishing in a very small pool of managers who will work under a chairman as hands-on as Hugh Jenkins. You're not going to get experienced coaches coming to play for a chairman who signs all their players and tells them how he wants to play.
I think when we've played the 4-3-3, it's looked fine. The narrow 5-back looks a bit negative. I think it's beyond managers now. I think we just need to get behind the team, because obviously we know it's going to be rough in the next couple of months, especially after January when Apoku goes. So I think it's more about getting behind the players than making radical decisions about managers and owners and whatever, because I think we're in this situation now. The only other option is get behind the team, turn up and get behind the team, and whatever happens really. There's not much more to be said.
Yeah, there's 2 points I'd like to make. The first one is, I don't think it's just David Hughes. There's a managerial team there, and I think the team need to look at a plan B. We sit immediately behind the dugout, and when things aren't going our way, Hughes is screaming at players to do things, and they're not doing them. And I think what they need to do in training is to get the players, sit them down and say, right, if it's not going right, this is what you have to do. Not mess about at the back, kicking it back to Savnev, kicking it to Baker, kicking it to Jenkins. We need to get forward. And my second point, my friend on the right here, one of my worries at the moment is there's a total disconnect between the fans and the team. As I say, we were sat behind the dugout. When Palmer Holden came on for them, they were chanting Palmer Holden's name. They shouldn't be doing that. They should be chanting our team's names. You know? There's a reason for it.
You're spot on. And the reason for that is that we don't possibly feel like quite yet that we can do that for a lot of our players. How many people here look at how Podge gets on the weekends? Quite a lot of us, yeah? Yeah, we all do. Like, players like that, players who serve us really well, we want to look after them. So you're spot on. We should be able to support in them, but the issue we can't is because what are they giving us to do that? What Palm Holding gave us?
I might push back on that a bit, because I do think with the likes of Jenkins and Whitmore, there are some there, but like,
agreed.
It's early days. I know what you mean, though. How are we doing for time, Jack? How long have we been? We might wrap it up in a bit, but any kind of final thoughts anyone wants to chuck into the mix? Anyone want to chip in with any thoughts on the chairman beyond what we've said already?
I think on the question of the chairman, and I know we're looking at like share issues and things, but in the boardroom there's nobody to question what he's doing. I don't think the trust is strong enough to do it. He can say, I want to go out, I want to sign all these young players and do this. There's nobody saying, hang on a minute, Hugh. We need to do something slightly different. And it's a worry that there's no accountability for the chairman. He does what he wants.
This is the same trust that just made sure that there was only one person on the ticket to buy the club, and it was Hugh.
Let's finish on a high. We're going to pass the microphone round one more time, and you'll tell me one thing that you're enjoying about Newport County this season. This might be the hardest question we ask of the afternoon, but who wants to kick us off? Go on, Stu.
I'm going to go for the easy one, Lee Jenkins.
Yes.
Awesome, man.
Yes.
Big fan.
I love speaking to Stu before the game and understanding what he thinks about the game going ahead. That's my favourite thing, is speaking to Stu. How do you feel about that, Stu?
I'm touched.
Happy days, happy days.
Yeah. Reasons to be cheerful.
Probably Sammy Braybrook. I think there's a player there that we could be without him and we'd be in a much worse place. So that's something. But
two things I say. Yeah, Jenkins, 100% Lee Jenkins. And we got told before he signed, was it Haverford West? Yeah. And everyone told us how amazing he'd be for us, but no one, I think, expected how good he'd be. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think he's had one bad game for County yet at all. So no fault at all. Lee Jenkins, give him the armband.
I think, well, not going.
Yeah, I've got to echo Lee Jenkins. I think a lot of players this season have thought, he's come from nowhere, we can take him. And like today, two of their players ended up on their asses on the floor.
Yes, brilliant.
Because Jenkins took them both out. Lee Jenkins, definitely.
Yeah. For me, it's been an element of being sat on my hands for the first 10 games of the season, because I didn't really think that we're pretty much playing the teams that are relevant to the position. But having watched that today, I am optimistic on the first 30 minutes of play that we could take that style and brand, apply it against the Cheltenham and do really well against. Because I don't think other teams have really got the quality to put 3 goals past us in quick succession. Referee decisions aside, I know we're 22nd, and I know I said that we were going to be down this season. I can't really revise my score midpoint after 10 games. I don't actually think on the back of that we're relegation candidates. And for that, I'm cheerful and happy, Ed.
Right, well, we're going to wrap it up. I'm going to look forward to doing what I think will be the technically hardest edit that I will ever have done in the history of the podcast.
Leave that to you.
And I'll be doing it on my birthday tomorrow as well. But before we finish, thank you all for coming.
Yes, thank you all.
Look after yourselves and each other. And above all, what do we say?
Keep it deadly.